Hello everyone, Mrs. Dominguez here, and today we're going to be learning about functions and how to identify functions from different representations. So let's go ahead and start. Make sure you're following along with your notes. We will begin here with this. Oops. Okay, got too many things going on here. So let's start. A function is a relation. We talked about relations last time, right? A relation where every input, remember that could be referred to as domain or X, might talk about it that way, okay? A relation where every input has exactly one output. Okay, and again, we could refer to output as range or Y. Please know that they will use those terms interchangeably. So the key part of this is actually this one right here, right? One output. So let's go ahead and let's look at these tables. And so the idea is that when we're looking at a table, so I'm going to go ahead and scooch this up just a little bit. If all the X values are different, it is a function. Ooh, hello. If any of the X values repeat, it is not a function. So this is the key thing. You don't care about the Y's at all. All you're looking at are the X columns. And when you look at it, you go, okay, I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do any of those repeat? Nope. So it is a function. I'll look over here. Again, I'm not worried about the Y's. And do you see anything that looks slightly weird? Okay, good. If you said, ding, ding, we have 2 negative 1s, right? Ooh, we cannot have that. We cannot have repeating X's. So that means it's not a function. What do you think about this one? Again, we're looking at the X's only. And there we go. We got a bunch that are repeating, right? All those negative 2's. Now, if it was just one negative 2 and a positive 2, it wouldn't matter, okay? That it's not repeating just because one has a different sign. But when you have the exact thing, you got that negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, that's repeating. So that's not a function. Okay? And let's look over here. Again, my focus is on the X column. I got 3, 4, 8, and 9. Anything repeating? No. So it is a function. Okay. Do I care about the 2 7s? Nope. Don't care about them at all. Okay. All right. So here we have X repeating. Here, X repeats. So that's what you're looking for. And here you have X repeating as well. Let's go ahead and look at it from the perspective of a set of points, okay? So it's the same concept, it's just a little different. Instead of a table, we have everything listed out, right? And so same thing, if all the X values are different, it is a function. Okay, and hopefully it shows up. It's not showing up on mine, but I'll write it in. If any of the x values repeat, I'll try and write neater here. It is not a function. It is, and just for emphasis, not a function. Okay? So we're looking for repeating x's. I'm going to go ahead and just highlight all of the x terms, okay? So remember, it is in alphabetical order, x, y. So we're looking at the very first term of each one of these. I've got a 0, a 1, a 3, and a 7. And when I look at that, no repeating. So awesome. It's a function. Function. Let's do it again. Here I've got a 1, a 1, a 1, and a 3. Well, I could have stopped the first time I had 2 1s, right? Because that is not a function. Not a function. Okay? Let's go ahead and let's look at the next one. 1, 3, 5, 7. Woohoo! No repeating. So it is a function. Am I bothering to look at the y's? Absolutely not. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it a function? Yes, it is a function. Here we're going to identify functions from a mapping diagram. This we can refer to the soda machine. I always kind of like to go back to that, right? Where you have your input and then your output. And for every one input, when you push the button on the soda machine, you should have one output. It doesn't matter that the soda machine has nothing but water in it, right? And you get the same thing every time, as long as you only get one thing coming out for every one input. So let's take a look, okay? If all the x values are different, it is a function. So right here, I'm going to put function. And again, if any of the x values repeat, it is not a function. Okay, so in looking at the mapping, here we have our inputs, right? And I'm going to write here just so that I know, like, this is my input and this is my output. So I'm pushing in on the -2, and what comes out? One number, a 7. Okay, great. That's one output. Check. That looks great. Okay, I push on the 0, and out comes a 9, right? Good. One number, one output. This is awesome. So now, again, I push on 3. I'm looking at that first one, and then I get a 16. One number, right? So every time I have one input and I get one output. So this is a function. Now remember, the machine does not function correctly, right? When you have one input and then you got like more than one thing, right? It's your lucky day, but you have more than one output, so that's not good. So let's take a look. Okay, 1. You select 1, you get one output. Awesome, that's perfect. Let's take a look. 3, so I'm pushing, my input is 3, and out pops a -3. That's one output. That's okay, okay? I'm gonna push, my input is 4, and out pops a -3. That's okay. That's like having 2 buttons on a soda machine that both say Coke, right? So you're still getting one output. So that's okay. And then, of course, 5, and out pops the -2. So this is a function. Sorry about the cursive there. That is, let me go ahead and not do that to you. Function. There we go. Okay. Function. Now, let's look at this. And yes, the input is always on the left and the output is on the right. So here, input of 5, output of 1. Good. Input of 7, output of 2. Good. Here, I've got an input of 8. And so I push on the 8, and then out pops 3 and 4, right? I got 2 sodas. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is not a functioning machine. It's not a function. Okay, this final one, I have an input of 12 and an output of 12. Great, 1 and 1. Input of 15, output of 28. Good. Input of 23 and output of 16. Still, 1 input, 1 output. Here we go with this one. 1 input, 1 output. Good. This one is a function. This is how you determine whether or not a relation is a function when it is in a mapping diagram. Okay, last one, guys. We're going to identify functions from a graph. And so what we're going to perform is what they call a vertical line test. Let me go ahead and write that in. Vertical line test. If you can pass a vertical line, that's a line that goes up and down. Horizontal is like the horizon, right? So if you can pass a vertical line, I'm just going to make a note that looks like this, like a pencil or your finger through the entire graph and only touch one point at a time, it is a function. So, for example, we're looking at the yellow lines, okay? I don't care about the X and Y axis, the black lines. All I'm worried about is the yellow lines, okay? So the idea is that if I can draw a line anywhere and it touches more than once, it is not a function. So here, okay, we're going to pretend that that line is straight up and down. But it touches only one time. Again, let me try and draw a straight line up and down. A little bit better. Again, I only care if it's where it's touching the yellow line, right? So again, only touching one time. So this is a function. Now here we had a line, which is made up of a million zillion little dots all put together, right? And this is actually just with dots, right? And the idea is that if I can hit more than one dot with a vertical line, then it's not a function. So look, only one time, right? Here I'm drawing a line. I only hit one dot. So this one is a function. This right here, remember I said a line is made up of a million zillion dots all put together to make it look like a line? And guess what? If I put that line right on there, I'm hitting a ton of dots. And so this one definitely touches infinitely, touches a bunch, not a function. Okay? This one right here. Now, sure enough, if I draw the line so that it just touches the edge, that would be one dot. That would be okay. But look, 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 look. One dot, two dots, no good. Not a function. Sorry about that. Now, finally, we are going to ignore this little yellow line right there. We're going to be focused on this line right here. And when I draw my vertical line, one time, right? So every single time, it only hits once, And that is a function. All right. So now let's go ahead and take some time to practice. See what you have learned. Thank you for spending time with me. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.